So as time went by, I kept using all these glyphs, and I'd read things in different books, and I continued to work with the one. They had the one that would kill bacteria. I would douse them to see how effective they were. So I had another one I created to kill bacteria and viruses. So I had a friend who had a virus. He had a sore throat and whatever was going on here. And I said, oh, try this, try it. And so I said, here, put some on your back, put some here, put some here, put some everywhere. Next morning, nothing. No, still got my cold. No. Why isn't this working? I know I could kill bacteria. Why isn't this working? And I asked, and the answer was, you need to believe in your power. I bet I've got that answer a dozen times. You need to believe in your power. And therein lies the secret of having a successful glyph. You need to believe in your power. When I empowered the glyph, I knew the bacteria would work. But when they came to the virus, I thought, I wonder if it'll work. Now, how much power is there in that? I wonder if it'll work. Not much. There's not much power in that. Think about Jesus. He even said, you are healed. I wonder if it worked. You see? What's the difference between us and Jesus? He believes in his power. Right? He believes in his power. He believes it.
Excuse me, Jean, can you speak up a little louder?
Okay. Let me come a little forward. Is that a little better? Okay. In the meantime, at first my glyphs were very amateurish little drawings. I can't say they're not still amateurish little drawings. Well, that evolved. That evolved. Would you repeat the question? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did she do with her empowerment? Let me get one of these out. I would put the glyphs on a little card, and I would write the empowerment statement on the back. And my husband said, and I had all these little things laying around everywhere, and he said, you can't do that. You have to get organized. He says, you can't have all these little drawings all over and these things. He said, this isn't going to work. And so, bless his heart, I'm going to come around here so I can show you. This was the first book. All this is full of glyphs. And he set up an index. I owe so much to him, in spite of the fact he is no longer my husband. He is still my friend, and he still supports me with the glyphs. But he sets up an index. I have about 100 glyphs. The book has 30 in right now, and I will do another book at some point. And each glyph would have a statement of the empowerment. I would draw the glyph on a piece of art paper. He would take it and he would put it in the scanner, scan it, and this would be the master sheet telling exactly what words of empowerment the glyph had. Then he would make what's called a patch page. And the patch page would have the small glyphs that you would cut out and you could put on your solar plexus or whatever. This one particular one is to clear meridians, and so you could just put your fingertips on there. And he continued to support me. He continues to support me to this day. Even though he's living in Peru, we're just mailing things back and forth, emailing things back and forth. And I'm very grateful for the support he gave me. It's kind of ironic because, in a way, his presence was one of the things holding me back. He was very domineering, and when he'd say, jump, I would jump and I would do what he told me to do, and I really needed him out of my life to grow up. I needed to stand on my own for a while. So everything is in divine order. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. There's another book of these also. One thing about the glyphs, a lot of them, now the emotional ones are mostly in the first book, the ones removing anger, resentment, fear. And so I got the book printed, and then I said, is there anything I'm missing? And I thought, I found the book by Louise Hayes, that little book, and it said one of the things that makes us sick is three things, was resentment, fear, and I think, and criticism. And I thought, criticism? I don't have a glyph for criticism. I thought, I don't have one for that. And so I thought, is this important? And so one of the things about the glyphs, they're very labor intensive. It takes time to get them out. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time. So anytime I want to test an idea, I use crystals. And I would take a handful of just clear nugget crystals, and I would put them in a sock, and I would program them, and I'd say, I do this when I'm lying down at night. Work with these things when you're lying down at night and it's quiet if you're going to work with something like this. You want to feel the energy. And I find turning out the light, you can feel more with the light out. So I would take the crystals, put them against my solar plexus, and tell it to extract and transition to light any criticism. And when I said that, I immediately felt stuff being pulled out of my arms, out of my breasts, all different areas of my body. So I knew I had a valid statement. But okay, extract and transition to light. Now I have a book that by Cho Kaksui of the Philippines, and he says extract, absorb, disintegrate, and expel. I don't like to have the crystals absorb anything. So I just tell them to extract and transition to light. I think that works better. And
It was like any criticism.
criticism, that particular one was criticism from my body, right. And the crystals will give you an immediate response. That's why I test the ideas. And I had the book out already. So what I did is I went back to the original glyph and I re-empowered it, adding more statements. So then I thought, okay, is there anything else? And I got the word several. Terror, horror, rage, and blind rage. I wouldn't have thought there was any difference between blind rage and rage, but apparently somebody thought so. And so I tested these all out, and indeed I felt a similar response, and so I added them to the book. So the glyphs from the book, the thing is, these emotions are literally embedded in your cells. They can be embedded in your genes. They can be from past lives. And then this then maybe is why we have road rage, why we have these insane things that are going on where people are killing groups of people. And for what? Why is this happening? What is there embedded in them? And if you have people in prisons for hideous crimes, could the answer be that we need to extract the pain and the suffering that's in there from this or another life? Is this the answer? I mean, killing them is not the answer, because all you're doing is killing the body. That spirit still goes on. It could attach itself to someone else, and where you got? I mean, I'm sorry, but I used to think that I had no problem with executing criminals, but I feel differently. I feel a lot differently.